Imagine showing up to a boxing match, wearing medieval armor, holding a sword, feeling very confident, and then realizing the other guy brought a handgun. That was the Battle of Pavia in 1525. The moment France learned, in the most humiliating way possible, that the age of knights was officially over. Not slowly, not gracefully, but all at once. By the early 1500s, Europe was in an awkward phase. Knights still looked impressive. Armor still shined. Honor still mattered. But gunpowder had entered the chat, and it did not care about tradition. France, led by King Francis I, was feeling confident. Actually, confident isn't the right word. France was feeling main character confident. Francis believed he was the greatest Renaissance king, a Leva patron of art, a warrior, and clearly destined for glory. Unfortunately, reality was about to humble him. The fight was part of the Italian Wars, which were basically Europe's longest-running group project, where nobody agreed on anything except fighting over Italy. France wanted control. The Holy Roman Empire, led by Charles V, wanted control. Italy just wanted everyone to leave. By 1525, Francis I had marched into northern Italy and laid siege to the city of Pavia. He brought elite French knights, heavy cavalry, and all the confidence money could buy. What he didn't bring was a plan for what happens when muskets start firing. Charles V's forces were a mix of Spanish infantry, German mercenaries, and most importantly, arquebusiers. Early gunmen who had absolutely no respect for shiny armor, the French camped comfortably, convinced victory was inevitable. They believed knights charging heroically would break any army in front of them. This belief was outdated. Early one morning, Imperial forces launched a surprise attack. Instead of lining up politely for medieval combat, they moved through the terrain, using cover, coordination, and firearms. French knights charged because, of course they did. That's what knights do. It's their whole personality. And then the shooting started. Musket fire tore through advancing cavalry. Horses went down. Riders fell. Armor that once meant survival now just made you heavier while bleeding. This wasn't a battle, it was a demonstration. The French cavalry, once Europe's pride, became targets. Infantry was cut apart. Confusion spread. Orders stopped making sense. The battlefield turned into chaos faster than a group chat after one wrong message. And then came the moment history will never let France forget. King Francis I was captured alive. Not killed heroically, not wounded dramatically, captured. Imagine being the King of France, armored, armed, confident, tanned, suddenly realizing you're a prisoner because guns don't care who you are. Francis was taken, disarmed, and eventually sent into captivity. His famous message afterward said it all. All is lost, save honor, which is Renaissance speak for everything went wrong. But please remember, I tried. By the end of the battle, the French army was destroyed. Nobles were dead or captured. France lost control in Italy, and the king, sitting in a cell, probably replaying his decisions like a bad memory montage. The Battle of Pavia didn't just defeat France, it ended an era. This was the moment Europe fully realized that knights were obsolete. Armor didn't win wars anymore. Courage didn't stop bullets. Tradition didn't beat technology. Gunpowder had officially taken over. For Charles V, Pavia was a massive win. He now held the King of France hostage, controlled huge swaths of Europe, and proved that modern armies beat medieval thinking every time. For France, it was a national embarrassment. Losing a war is one thing. losing your king in the process. That's a whole different level of humiliation. And just like Mohawks, the speed of it all was shocking. France didn't lose over decades. It lost in a single battle, in a single morning, because it refused to adapt. So what's the lesson of Pavia? If you bring knights to a gunfight, history will laugh at you. If you confuse confidence with preparation, reality will correct you. And if your king insists on fighting like it's still the 1400s, he might end up writing apology letters from prison. The Battle of Pavia wasn't just a loss. It was the official announcement that the medieval world was dead, and gunpowder pulled the trigger.